Hey everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I gotta love saying that. You guys, I waited a long time to be able to say that, and now here I am saying it every week. Yay! So, let's see. The $1,000,000 question is always, am I live? Because you guys can see it. Oh yeah, it says it right there. You guys can always see it before me. So for those that are right on time with me. So, I have some people there liking already. Yay. That means you can see it. So I was just saying that it was about a year ago that I started with the plan of adding on. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for sharing on this wonderful edition. Hi, Randy. Hi, Deb. It was at a wine and cheese pairing night back on January 14th that the idea came to fruition. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Karen. Hi, Linda. Woohoo! So January 14th, hi, Mary Carls, was a night that we invited friends over. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Carmen. Woohoo! We invited friends over for a wine and cheese or a wine and dessert pairing party, and I was like, I need to get more space to have people over for in-person classes. Hi, Kathy King. Hi, Jean. And my friend said to me, hi, Luann, why don't you have classes in your garage? Like, just don't park your cars in the garage. And hi, Barb. Hi, Faye. And I said, no, we live in Wisconsin. In the middle of winter, I am not going to have my car sitting outside collecting snow and rusting more. Oh, because my car just started to get those rust spots over the back wheels because I have a Mariner that happens to. And so it was January 14th when she gave me the idea of adding or doing something with my garage. And so that gave me the idea, well, what if I added on to my garage on the other side? Well, lo and behold, long story short, to have it approved with the city, the whole existing garage had to come down. And a lot of you are along for that ride with me. It started, the idea started in January. The drawing started in an Excel spreadsheet that I drew up. Hi, Donna. And then during the month of February and first couple weeks of March, hi, Latokia. Hi, Jean. During the first couple weeks of February and March is when I met with the builder to have it drawn up professionally, because I think that helped get it to be to get past it, so it would get passed. Hi, Marty. Yes, can a little hive, cute little hive exam. And then that's exactly it, Donna. I'm giving you guys a little glimpse of where we were a year ago. It's crazy to think back that a year ago, it was pre-COVID a little bit. I think we had just heard rumblings that it was coming over. It was sometime the end of February, early March, where we were hearing stuff, right? Not anything to be concerned about. But that is when I got the drawings. In about a week ago, like a week from now, a year ago, is when I got the drawings back for the plan. And I'll tell you, we booked it as much as we could do, and here we are I am sitting in here, but you're with me, so we're sitting here together. Hi, Sandy. You got your card today. Awesome. Yay, you lucky winner. Hi, well, let me see here. Denise is there, Nulu. Wow, from Ohio. Awesome. Angela's watching tonight. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Mo. Hi, Julie. So here we are a year ago, and it was before we even started tearing down or do anything because it was still cold. The first weekend we did anything outside was March 8th, which is this coming weekend. We started working out in the cold. Oh my God, I hate working outside in the cold. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Joanne. And hi, June. Hi, Francie Freeberg's in the house. And it was this weekend a year ago that we started taking down things. The garden shed had to come down. The fence had to come down. Everything. So it's blowing my mind that my mom keeps saying to me, do you know what you were doing a year ago? Or where were you a year ago? What were you working on a year ago? It's like, yeah, we were just in the infancy stages of this whole hive. And here we are, look at it. It's there, you guys. It's amazing me. And so it's awesome when people come in here for the first time and they're blown away by it. And everybody's like, oh, I want this for myself. So, but I love sharing it with you guys. So, hi, Connie. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jamie. So, lots of you guys are rolling in. while you roll in, I want to go over my upcoming classes. I always like to share my cards with you so that you can see them in a video. It's always so much prettier to see them in a video than the pictures. And then also, I want to show you Kelly's card. Did you guys, oh, there, that needs to get stuck. Thanks for sharing, everybody. I appreciate it. Hi, Kim. The hive. Yes, you guys, eventually sometime in your day, you should come out here and see the hive. Did you guys see Kelly's card? Oh my goodness. Look at this beauty. So she came to me with this idea for what she would want to work on for the next Technique Thursday. And she wanted to show you guys how, it's so sad when you have two sides. Oop, we just lost an embellishment. Oh, it's getting, we're going to get that guy. Otherwise, he's going to be under there and stuck, and we're going to put it right there. So she wanted to showcase Designer Series paper. And this is awesome. If you guys didn't watch, yeah, Barb, isn't this awesome? If you guys didn't watch her video on how she made this, you should go watch it. It's the Technique Thursday for today. It really gets to showcase both sides of the paper. You cover up a little bit, but you really get to see both sides in action. She did a phenomenal job, and we were thinking about like what kind of product should we use, and we hadn't used Ornate Garden since last June. Last June, I did a bundle class featuring Ornate Garden, and I haven't really used it much since. Hi, Gwen. And so, phenomenal job. Added a little vellum behind the ornate dies, the stamps. Oh, so it's so pretty. I can't wait for you guys. She already did next week's too. Oh, it's going to be so cute. She has so much fun doing the Technique Thursdays. It gives her an opportunity to stamp. So, what do I have coming up? I have 4 piles of cards that I want to run through while people are still joining, so I can show you guys a little bit about what's coming up. So last night I had a group of people here in person, and we did the Stamparatus 101 class. And it features the Kangaroo and Company bundle, and it features, so I taught people, I know of 4 good techniques or uses of the Stamparatus. And it's the hinge technique, which is this one, the circle technique to make a wreath. It's a big stamp that can be used so you don't have to have the F block, which we talked about not too long ago. And then using cutting out white pieces ahead, and then consistent stamping, repetitive consistent stamping. And so it's 3 cards. This class is coming up live though, April 5th. For you guys, it's a Monday. It's Easter Monday. So it's the day after Easter, and it's live. And I have a few people signed up, but if anybody else wants to sign up, you can start signing up for this class. It's 3 cards, so it's $12 porch pickup, $17 if mailed, or free with a $35 order with mailed. You guys, I have a schedule, and I just recommend you guys look at all the prices and the due dates and all that stuff. It's out in my newsletter section of my website. All right. Next, let's do this one. So the art floral, you guys, I did a video on Sunday maybe showcasing the art floral cards. Oh, so pretty. So this one is April 1st, a Thursday night, live in the Hive. And if you don't have the gilded leafing that goes with this suite, you might want to consider getting it if you want to do the gilded leafing. For anybody who gets their kits mailed to them, I can't mail gilded leafing. It would disintegrate and be a hot mess of gold all over in your package. So that's one thing that you might want to consider is getting the gilded leafing or using something that's like gold embossing powder. It may be on back order right now, but I think by the middle of March, it should be back off of back order. This bundle is currently on back order. It's allowing you to order it. The dies will ship separately. The stamps are in stock. Just know that they will, anything that's on back order, as long as they let you add it to your cart, they will ship it as soon as it becomes available. All right, so that one's a regular class card where it's 4 cards. And if you do order the Art Floral Bundle as your RSVP for class, you get the roll of ribbon for free by a certain date. I think it's about March 19th or something. Okay, game night. You guys, I have this as an in-person class. It's called Lucky Hand. So if you're local to me and you want to do these cards in person, April 7th for Lucky Hand. Otherwise, these are what I also call for the game night. So Stampin' Game Night and Card Workshop with me on April 8th, which is a Thursday as well, featuring the Dragonfly Garden Bundle. So You will want to have the dragonfly punch. It's used on this card and these cards. I'll punch these little guys out for you instead of giving you a little teeny tiny scrap. But you will want it for the stamp set for here, and then also inside the cards, you can stamp the dragonfly. You're gonna wanna potentially pull in some other sentiments if you have, like this one looked good with as a sympathy card, and that comes from Itty Bitty Greetings and then a different saying for on the inside. So sayings are generally easy. You guys probably collect some sayings throughout your course of stamping. So game night is, again, April 8th. You get a goodie bag with this. You'll get a goodie bag with some ribbon and the trinkets, the ladybug guys, and some linen thread. So that one's coming up too. So if you go to the calendar of events for that, just look at April 8th or April 7th. And you guys, you haven't seen these yet. This is a sneaker peeker. Okay, so the Butterfly Brilliance just was released on Tuesday. And an all-new class that I'm featuring for a monthly online-only class. It's called Ink, Paper, Scissors. And, oh, Linda, you just got your gilded leafing. Cool. Oh, so it must be off of back order then. So this is April 9th, and these are the 4 cards that you'll make, and you'll get in your goodie bag the in color embellishments and then a roll of the braided linen trim, and that's on all of the cards. So you can go crazy with the ribbon and the little enamel dots, or you can keep it conservative, whatever you want. But this paper really focuses on a lot of the new in colors. So these in color dots went perfect with it. So you get a pack of that. Here, you guys, I loved that easel card so much that I did another card like that with that. So we did this in the Fun Folds class with the daisy. So that one, isn't that pretty with the Just Jade? And then you go like that with the butterfly. So there's 2 different patterns that work with this Just Jade, and you'll get one pattern or the other, but they're both full of butterflies. Or if you flip it over, it's a jade, more subtle pattern. So yeah, so these are April 9th, online only, a Friday night. I have this class set up for Fridays in April, May, and June. And then starting in July, I'm working it into the Thursday night schedule. So basically it'll be like usually the 4th Thursday of the month, and I'm gonna move Paper Pumpkin to a Monday night. So we squeeze everything in, right? So you guys are more than welcome to sign up for any of those classes now. We are into March, so for those people that are online, if you place an order that is a minimum amount for one of those classes, when you place your order, you just have to follow up with an email that you want to take a class and which one, because it's at the time that you place your order that you RSVP. But some of them are a set fee, like the game night or the butterfly one. So always, guys, too, sometimes I can catch people and tell you this. If you pay online on my website, there's a convenience fee charged. And I like for you guys to save money where you can and save shipping where you can. So if you do contact and reach out to me and would prefer to make your payment via PayPal, Friends and Family, Venmo, Zelle, Facebook Pay, cash, or check, that will save you a convenience fee. And I'm always willing and happy to work that out with you. So just reach out to me and let me know what you want to do, and we go from there. So, hi Brenda. Hi Tammy. So that's a little bit of, wow, that didn't even include March monthly cards. Oh man. The March monthly cards, I didn't even have them sitting. I wonder where I even have them. I don't know. But it was a strawberry. Oh, they're sitting over there. Okay, the March monthly cards are a strawberry, the shark, and which one? It's green. Oh, a little lamb from Springtime Joy. Hi, Naughty Nancy. Oh, you guys, Naughty Nancy's with us tonight. So, Sandy, you just said, let me know if I'm not signed up for any of them. I'm pretty sure, Sandy, that you're signed up for everything. And the only thing, Sandy, that I think you're not, Sandy, you're not signed up for the Stamparatus 101 class with the kangaroo. So that might be the only one. I don't have your name next to that. I don't see where you, I'm pretty, you guys, this is my, oh my goodness. If I lost this, I would cry for a long time and then I'd have to recreate it. So this is where I keep track of everything. So, all right, I do want to show you guys, I got an awesome gift here. Mary Carl's. Look at this. I got a hive warming present from Mary, and it's a hive. So live from the hive, here we are. I've got a hive inside the hive, and I have the perfect spot for this. If my the Amish man comes, he said next week, you guys, so this has been 2 weeks, he's been telling me that he was going to come in and put my stamp bookcase together, and then once that I have that, Mary, my plan is to hang it from the ceiling up there so it looks really cool. So thank you for that. I love it. Okay, so you guys, we're going to cross our fingers and our toes that we do not have technology issues like we had on Sunday. I think that for you guys that stuck through and waited for me, oh man, I tried 10 times to go live and we made it work. And if you guys want to see a blast from the past from Sunday night, check out my video section. I had cards that I made from about 20 years ago that my mom has saved through the years that she got back when my grandparents passed away because my grandma saved all of the cards. And so there's a lot of reminiscing. And you guys, if you've been stamping using Stampin' Up! Supplies for a while, you're going to recognize some of the older colors and you're going to see some stamps that you probably haven't seen for a while. So, and you get to see how my style has changed through the years. And with the addition of the stamping, cut and emboss machines or die cutting machines and embossing, it has really made everybody's, not just mine, but everybody's stamping good. Like not good, but enhanced everybody's stamping. Because who wants to fussy cut everything out? Because I know there are people that love fussy cutting, but I am not one of them. So kudos to you guys. Oh man. Yeah, not a fan of the fussy cutting. So what I have tonight for you guys is after we're done live, I have all of these cards. These are what we made last Thursday night and Friday night with pumpkin and sale-a-bration, hoorah rah. And I have drawn winners for those. And yeah, Mary, thank you so much. So you had her grab it for you. Oh, I'm happy to do everything that I do for you guys. So we'll give those cards away and then I'll announce the winners. I have published my newsletter on Tuesday, guys. So if you haven't seen it, you go to the newsletter section of my website and you can read the newsletter for what's coming up. I always have a hidden question there. Jean Terwilliger, I think that's how you say your name. You won a $10 gift certificate for being the February newsletter winner. Congratulations. So it's not always phrased as a question, but I make it very apparent what you have to tell me to be entered into the drawing. So that's in there for the month of March. And it's always good to email me, but if you want a Facebook message or text me your answer, that's good too. So we're gonna announce the top fan winners. So I have a sheet here. You guys, these are all the top fans that were from February. And we'll do a random number generator and then I will see how many, we'll do about 3 winners and then I'll pick some prizes. And I think that's it. But first, we're gonna make some cards, right? Are you guys ready? Okay, I have to tell you guys, hi Barb, hi Kay. I am a little sad. The post office did not do a few of us well today, or, well, for the last 2 weeks, I should say. On February 19th, I mailed Barb's and Christie's packages to them. I think it was those two. Those two were on the 19th, and they still don't have them. They're somewhere between Wisconsin and Barb, you're in Arizona, and Christie's, I believe, in Oregon. And then on top of it, Melanie and one other person, Melanie and Brianna, I mailed some things to you on the 23rd and they're not there. So you guys, I try my best and I appreciate your patience more with the postal service. When I mail something out on the 19th and expect it to be there 2 weeks later, I don't think that's too much to expect. So I do have faith that they will show up, Barb. Nothing yet. I figured that. I looked the tracking just right before class. So you guys, I appreciate your patience and when a package doesn't arrive in time for class. And I appreciate you still watching live. That's fun. It helps you to see the cards, how they're made so that when you do get them, they're there. I do have faith in the Postal Service. I know that somebody mailed me a package back in, I think it was late December, and it showed back up at her house 3 weeks later. It arrived. Like, they always find the packages, but when is always the question. So my mom mailed something on August 19th, and it showed back up on her doorstep in October. So they find it eventually. I think that if it gets wrecked or ruined along the way, they still send it, because somebody got a bow maker from me that was nasty, and package was ripped open and it was wet and it was really smelly and something got on it, and they delivered it in a sealed plastic bag and said, so sorry, but here's your package. And so I sent her a new bow maker and we're all good, but I feel like it'll show up eventually. I just can't tell you when. So yes. All right. So roll call for tonight, you guys. I'm going to run through this list and you're going to be amazed at how many people are doing this class online. I ended up with 53 kits being used. Yeah. So we have Sandy Wicklander, Connie Piasecki, Judy Jones, Kathy King, Barb Barkow, Kay Warner, Carolee Crab, Rachel Horsch, Tammy Steckling, Arliss Knoop, Linda Hindy. I'm not sure if it's Hindy or Hind, or Hindy. It could be how, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. You'll have to tell me sometime. Jean Terwilliger, Luann Johnson, Melanie Chandler, Linda Hodge, Ruth Nicholson, Deb Norman, Mo Stites, Jolene Schrei, Mary Carls, Angela Orvis, Marilyn Rickard, Deanna Stell, Brenda Credwig, Jean Benson, Karen Wetstein, Barb Frime, Carmen Melendez, Marge Haas, Aunt Marge, woohoo, Melanie Hayo, or Hey. I talked to you last week and I needed confirmation how to properly say your last name. Angela Knutson, Stacy Burns, Susan Risch, Michelle Olette, Cynthia Hutchins, and Lisa Lewis. Oh my gosh, you guys. And so many of you are here. So if you're watching me live right now, give me a thumbs up or a heart. And if you're watching the replay at this point, do the same thing. Woo! Okay, so Linda, it's Hind or is it Hind? I'm thinking Hind now. You need to put, when you were in school and you had to put the little mark over it, if you could say if it's soft or a hard letter, you know what I mean? So, hi Jennifer, fixing dinner, woohoo! So, oh my gosh, look at all those people watching. I love it. So, we are going to be working on the ice cream corner class tonight. I think you guys really like these ice cream cones. So this is considered one of my, I call it a bundle or a sweet class, kind of interchangeably. I've been doing this class for probably 3 years, if I had to guess. There's, hi Jewel, every month I pick, well, in the beginning of a catalog cycle, I always pick which bundles I like the most, or I think you guys might like the most. And oh, think of behind. So Hind, there we go. Thank you. I got it now, Linda. Hi, Jane. Okay, so I need this happy place today. Yes, Kay, we're going to be happy tonight. I love it. So every month is a featured sweet bundle. It started off as a bundle, but then Stampin' Up! Started to make sweets. And I love to use everything in the suite for the bundle classes. So I call them interchangeably bundle sweet class. So the ice cream corner suite is found on pages 48 through 49. It's kind of a smaller suite here. Oh, Luann, I forgot to mention that about the likes. That was on my list actually. So you guys can see there's a box right behind that beehive back there. That is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it's parked there very nicely. It is not ready to be won. Sad face. I don't know what it was, but we've only grown 30 likes since last week, which boggles my mind. And the last time, I haven't looked. Somebody can go look on my page and tell me so that I don't look right now, but you could give us a clue. You go to the Community in Cards by Christine business page, go to Community, and it will tell you how many people like my page. The last time I looked earlier this week on Monday, it was only 1951, meaning I say only because we started the challenge at 1925, and it's grown only 25 or 26. And I thought that, we could do this in a week. So no, Luann. Yes, Luann, they're growing, but they haven't grown enough to get to 2,000. So here's my deal, guys. It's going to sit there until we hit 2,000. And when you've helped by sharing that post and you comment that you posted or you shared it, then we'll still include you in the drawing, and the drawing will happen when we hit 2,000 likes. So we're still gonna do it, but we're not gonna do it till we hit it. So yes, we try, we keep trying. So here's the suite. It's kind of a smaller suite, guys. And oh, it's got a beautiful stamp set with a punch. And so the punch looks like this. How many of you got it? There's a punch, and let's see where the little stamp set is. It's called Sweet Ice Cream. So it's really kind of crazy. They don't always name everything the same. So it's Ice Cream Corner Sweet, but the name of the stamp set is Sweet Ice Cream. And so this is the bundle. And this little thing was a hot cake. It was on back order, and I think it still might be on back order, and it's gonna be off soon. I saw this, and the strawberry punch should be in about a week or so, some like the middle of what, March, but the stamp set is still available. And then on top of it, there's this really pretty ribbon. It's Blackberry Bliss, and it's a sheer ribbon, so you can see through it. And if you guys watched the February monthly class, we made a succulent card, and we put a piece of Blackberry Bliss behind it, and I called that the Sacrificial Lamb. It really helps to make the color in the ribbon pop. So the ribbon is gorgeous, and one of your cards uses the ribbon. I almost designed all 4 cards, and I didn't have this ribbon on it, so I had to find a spot to do the ribbon. So yes, Ellen, the strawberries on back order, they're on the same container. They're on the slow boat from China, and they will be here soon. So they had a little bit of problems with the supplier, I think, and I think they're on the way. So, oh, Jewel finally got her punch from being on back order. So what they'll do is, oh, Susan, you got your punch. Wonderful, right on time. Nancy just got hers. Barb got it. Okay, so you guys are starting to see the back orders come in from that. That's perfect. Once they have the back orders set and the inventory is in stock, they'll take the item off of hold so that we can order it. So here's the paper, guys. Isn't it cool? So I love this one. If I had to pick a favorite, I love you guys. I think you guys know I love purple. So I love the Blackberry Bliss mixed with the purple posy. I liked this one too. This is one that I used on one of your cards. This one's used on a card. That one, that one, that one is. These two are, and these two are. So I almost use every side of the paper when designing your cards. So I have a couple sheets here that I can show you here. So that's the one sheet big, and then it's splotchy like this. So in this I wanted to show you, because when it comes time to make one of your cards, this shaker card, you guys are all good. I'm gonna prepare you now. I did put all your sprinkles in little baggies so they won't fly all over the place, okay? But just know, you guys, all of your scoops are gonna look a little different, and I'm telling you that now so that you're not concerned, oh, mine has more of this in it than that. But this is what I had to work with. I literally cut sections of this to be able to punch. And so I tried to give everybody a light purple, a dark purple, and or this mix. And then I tried to coordinate them so that they looked good together. So just know I did my best to try to match up your cone top so that they fit. And I've already punched out your bottom cone pieces here. Well, these are the scoops and then the cones. I keep calling everything the cone, so I don't want you guys to get confused. So that was a little disclaimer about the DSP on that. So basic, oh, and then last but certainly not least, oh, Sandy, isn't that splotchy paper awesome? Yes. The sprinkles. So on this card right here is where we're going to use the sprinkles. And so I tried to give everybody enough to put sprinkles in and then also to glue on your cone. And I'll walk you through that process, how I did that. So that is the bundle suite in a nutshell, and let's get started. So I have a whole pile of stamps over there waiting to get used. So the question is, my infamous first question is, which one should we make first? I'm gonna save the shaker towards the end, and I think I'm gonna save purple for the end because I always like to finish with my favorites. Not that they're not all my favorite, but I love purple so much. Okay, we're gonna start with greenie. All right, so I used pretty much all the stamps in the set except for some of the words. And I didn't use some of that stuff, and I didn't use the outline, but I generally used mostly everything else. The ice cream scoops do not always, you're correct, Angela. Here's a question for you guys. When you go to the ice cream shop and you get ice cream. Don't you get 5 flavors? No, not really 5, but don't you get 2 flavors? Do you get 3 flavors? I usually go for strawberries and pistachios or caramel. I'm not a big chocolate fan. I could live without chocolate, but I love almondy things and pistachio. Oh my gosh. So this card right here, you guys, right here, that reminds me of pistachio, except for this is a popsicle. So I don't know what color popsicle that would be, but but yes, Angela, ice cream scoops do not have to be the same color. They don't need to match. So here's the card we're gonna work on. And the reason I'm putting these both here is because I wanna show you that this designer paper is the front and the back. There's always 2 sides to the designer paper, unless it's specialty and it's white on the back side. But you have a choice when you're working on this card. You can choose, do you want the splotchiness, which actually really matches the popsicles nicely, or do you want polka dots? And I would have to say, you guys will have to tell me which side you chose, but in class, for in-person class, the majority chose the splotchies, and I think 1 or 2 people chose that. Oh, lime! That is exactly right, it's lime. So we'll take this out. We'll take this out so we don't have the glare going on, and we'll grab a kit. So you guys always like to know, I think you do, I assume you want to know where I get some ideas from. So Gina Bulow, a good friend of mine, we used to stamp together back in the day, and there was a nice, you guys might remember, it was called Cool Treats, and it had this little sundae dish, and we did a class featuring Cool Treats. So you know what the first thing I did? I went and found my cards, because I always save my card class samples, and I found those cards, and I thought, oh, this will be nice. I'll make a very similar card. I basically cased my previous card to incorporate the new product. So that's where I got this idea from. So Jean and I made that together probably 3 years ago. Lime and blue raspberry. I think that you girls hit the nail on the head with that one. So this color is called Soft Sea Foam. And I did not score mine. I want to show you how I score it. So I am teaching you a little bit. Hi, Carol. I want to teach you a little bit about how to do the scoring. In your kit, you'll have a piece of white, which is your traditional mat, 4 by 5 1/4. You have your 2 strips of old olive. Oh, let's find if I can find my little cards here, because that will help me with the measurements. All of you guys that did the class with me, you got the PDF tutorial. I believe I mailed that on Monday. And if you did it live with me, you'll be getting it after class tonight or tomorrow, because I have to add the YouTube links. But soft sea foam. You guys, I always put my notes on my cards, so I always have this written down. All right. Thanks for sharing, Elizabeth. All right. Old olive, 5 1/4 by 1 1/2. And there's 2 of them in your kit. Your DSP strips are 1 5/16 times 5 1/16. So you guys, me and my crazy 16ths here. So the difference here, you can see this. So this one has a normal kind of mat that goes by the 1/4 inches, and that I did a little less of a mat so that you didn't see as much of the old olive. So that's those 2 pieces. Now, these 2 pieces, you got your trimmer, wonderful. That's awesome. There's a scoring blade on there, and we're gonna pull it out here in a second. Good job, Ellen. This is Pool Party, and it's cut out with the layering circles. If you guys are really dedicated stampers and love making cards, one of the things that I highly recommend for you guys, if you have a cut and emboss machine or a die cutting machine, investing in the layering circles, there's layering ovals, and there's also the stitched shapes. Now there's also one called layering squares that go with these squares, but I would pick these 3 first, and I would do this one first, and then I would do ovals, and then I would do circles, unless you're a circle person and you can switch it. But the stitched shapes I would absolutely do first, because they have layering, and then you get ovals, squares, and circles all in one. So I've already I already die cut your Pool Party circle and your stitched, and you can see there's a little stitching in there, your stitched white circle, and those nestle on top of each other. By the magic of TV, I've done mine already, but I'm going to show you what to do. You guys all have in your kits a piece of white. It's about 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, but there's plenty of room for you guys to do your popsicles. And if you don't have popsicles, you can do something else. Okay, so let's get started. I've kind of explained the pieces. Now let's get this going. Let's get this party started. Okay, so let me get my scoring machine here. The scoring machine. So this is the Stampin' Trimmer. It has a locking mechanism in here. Yes, Angela's investing in anything stitched, just like me. Anything stitched this girl's gotta have. There's like a locking mechanism in here, and it's so that if you carry this or take it around places, it doesn't automatically pop open on you. So you have to gingerly pull this up, or somehow like it catches and you just gotta get used to how it opens. The scoring is the light color, and the cutting is the darker gray. And Ellen, since this is new and you just got yours, just so you know, this arm comes out and it pops kind of in place. And when you're done, it slides right back like that. So I have to look at my sheet here just to make sure. It's scored at 1 3/4 and 6, or 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. This is not actually 8 1/2. You can see there's a section missing here. So what we had to do is we cut a 3/4 inch off. And yes, Sandy, a lot of people do like the old trimmer or the old cutter better, but we don't have that one anymore. The other one was just a little bit bigger, I think, and it just worked. The size of it worked with your hands better, I think. So, but this one's not bad either. The soft seafoam is 7 3/4 by 5 1/2, and it's scored at 1 3/4 and 6. Or you could just say 1 3/4 from each end. So your papers, you guys at home already have yours done, but I wanted to show you how I did that. You want to make sure you get the cutter out of the way and score like that, and score 1 3/4 there. Now, I don't do, you guys, I honestly do not use this for your scoring for when I have to make 52 times 40, 200 some kits. I do not use this. This would take me too long. Onesie, twosie stuff is fine, but I have shown you guys this thing. Let me show it to you. This is what I actually do use. I have the scoring tool, and what I'll do is I'll mark 1 3/4 and 6, and then I'll put my paper here, grab the stylus, and like that. That's exactly what I do. I use this bad boy. It has gotten me my money's worth. So, highly recommend that scoring tool if you're making lots of scores. About how long and wide are the popsicles so I can try to cut some myself? That is a really good question, Luann, and I'll do it right now. So it's 2 1/2 or so by 1 1/4 or so each one. So now that you've got an idea of how I did that, you can go ahead and burnish your edges. Hi, Bobby. You're not late. We just got started. So that is what you've got, this window here now. So what you can do to get your party started with assembling your card, these get glued. Well, you know what I'll do? I'm going to show you guys how to stamp, because then you guys could be stamping and cutting out while I assemble my cards. So let me show you what I did to stamp. These are photopolymer stamps, so I'm going to grab my piercing mat out, and you have in the stamp set these two pieces. They are the top of the popsicle, the bottom of the popsicle, and then you have your stick. So the colors that you're going to need are crumb cake, pool party, and soft seafoam, or something similar if you don't have these exact colors. And what I started with, I worked my way from the top down. Oh, you guys. Oh, am I frozen? Shit. No, I didn't mean to swear. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I think you can still see me. So let's just see here if it comes back. Hang on, guys. We're gonna figure this out. I'm just messaging you. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Oh, it's coming back. Oh, yep, you guys, it came back. Okay. Hang on. I think that we're good. I think I swore though, guys. So sorry. I do that from time to time. I do. I was like, oh no. I looked at it and it's going really slow. So I think that we're back on track. we'll see here. So it's back. You guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to swear. I hope nobody took offense to that. I am a sorry person here. I didn't mean to. I all of a sudden looked down and it was frozen. And I think that it still is kind of a little leggy, but we're going to see once what happens here. Yep. So just give it a second here. I'm going to go out and come back in and see if that makes a difference too, guys. So we're going to make this happen here. So let's just go back in here and see, you guys, I'm so sorry. All right, let's get in here. Hang on, guys. Cards by Christine. So I was really hopeful that we weren't going to have technology stuff, but can't stop the inevitable, right? So where are we? Right there. Okay, I think we're good now. So you guys see me playing on my phone, getting it all set back up, and I think we're good. So we have here the soft seafoam, and I was just about ready to tell you. I just watched a video from somebody that showed how to open these pads, and I might just take a minute here to show you this. So this is the, I heard that little cursey Mo says, haha, I love it. So this is the old style pad, and you were often taught to look for these 3 dots right here, and you pop it like that, and you swing the pad back to you like that. That's how that works. What's Hillary? Hillary just got back. You were frozen for a minute. Yeah, we got it back. Okay, Linda, the colors are Pool Party and Soft Seafoam and Crumb Cake. So that is the whole mechanism that we're used to opening up our ink pads, is going like that, right? So these are different. I was taught to open them like a compact, but then you get your fingers in there and it's so hard, and you end up sometimes trying to open them here and they crack. So this is what I just watched a video on how to open these pads. So with the Stampin' words backwards to you, grab it like this and open it like that. So it's similar to the old style. And then, Nancy, I do too every now and then. You're funny. Then when you go to shut it, it's the same concept. That is how the person, and I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. Okay, so yes, Nancy, if you guys start the swearing, then I kind of, yep, it happens. So here's the thing. We have the top, the bottom, and the stick, and I want to start at the top. So you're going to ink up in soft seafoam the top, and just do one at full strength and do a second one at full strength, just like so. And we're going to leave soft seafoam for a second because we're going to do the inside a little bit. Now the trick with this is when you hold these up together, you are going to stamp them on top of each other. You do not want a hole. So if you can see that like that, there's a hole in the middle, and that will be white. So you want your popsicles to slightly overlap, and that's where you get a different color near the middle here. So with the bottom one in Pool Party, and depending on how new or old your ink pad is, if it needs to get re-inked, you might have it a little darker or a little lighter. But what you're going to do is hover over the top until you see where that line is here is overlapping this area here. And that's when you're going to stamp. And you want to line up your left and your right sides. You like that with the ink pads. I thought that was ingenious. Okay, so my Pool Party is just freshly re-inked. And so mine is going to be a little bit more dark, like the Bermuda Bay. But you can still see here that it changed color right in the middle. Now, here's a tip. If your Pool Party is a little darker, what you can do is stamp off and then go at second strength and stamp. Let's try to get it lined up good. And stamp, and then it's a little lighter. Look at that. So first strength, darker, and then second strength, lighter. Whichever you guys like is what you can go with. You can see this popsicle's a little shorter than that one, and that's because I stamped that second one up a little higher. Hi, Buffy. Okay, so we're gonna do our, okay, watch this, guys. That and like that. Now it's our little stick in Crumb Cake, and that just gets centered right underneath the bottom of your popsicle, like so. These get fussy cut. I'm sad-faced that there isn't a die or a punch for these. I understand probably why they didn't, because everybody's would be different heights and the punch might punch out too much or too little. So now once you've got these stamps, you guys can go ahead and fussy cut them. I've got mine done, so I'm just gonna set this off to the side and I wanna work on my inside here. On the inside, and you guys can't see this on the picture in your PDF tutorial, but what I did is I decorated this section here and this, the top and the bottom, with the two different sprinkles. So we're gonna decorate them, but we're also going to stamp our inside. This is what people had a little bit of a hard time with in class, lining up the happy birthday. So we're done with this. So we'll set that here. The happy birthday, for you guys that don't know, I'm gonna go diagonal with it so I can see it better. Happy birthday comes from a set that's called Itty Bitty Birthdays. So it's right there. That's where I got that one from. And the color that I'm using with Itty Bitty Birthdays is Bermuda Bay. So look at that. All right, so here's the little trickery. It's always good. My trick for stamping sentiments is I like to stamp it near the edge of the bottom just to see if it's straight on my block or not. And that was pretty straight. I tried to line up the bottom with the words. Knowing that, hopefully I can stamp this straight. So I don't have this glued in yet, guys, because if I don't like the way I stamp it, I can flip it over. But I am lining it up in here just where I think it's gonna go. And here's what I'm gonna do. I put the happy birthday over here and the popsicles there, but it looks super cool doing the opposite too, and a couple people in class put their circles on this side. So just to confuse you, hi Joanna, just to confuse you, I'm gonna do the happy birthday on this side. Just to show you there's always a couple ways to do something. So I'm gonna hope that I get this stamped in here straight. Remember, let the ink soak in the paper. Give it a second to marinate. Okay, so I'm happy with that because what I can do, to me it's a little crooked, but what I can do when I'm gluing this in is I can twist it slightly and then it will go exactly where I want it, right in the middle. So Bermuda Bay, happy birthday from Itty Bitty Greetings. Shutting our ink pad like that. Now we can stamp, now that we're happy with this, we can stamp our little sprinkles along the top and the bottom. And so there's two sprinkles in there. There's one that looks like real sprinkles and there's one that looks like little circles. And we're gonna do one in one color. And because that's really dark, I stamped off. And I'm just gonna trace the top here with those sprinkles. And then I'm gonna go along the bottom. And you see what I'm doing is I'm stamping first strength off, and then I'm doing second, third over there. Now with the circles, my soft seafoam is a little lighter, so I think I'm gonna just do first and second strength, and I'm just decorating the top and the bottom, making it look like confetti raining down on the inside here, and then bubbling up from the bottom. So that's what I would do to decorate that card with some of those sprinkles, and those colors are a little light. All right, now we're done with those. Soft seafoam and the pool party. Crumb cake's good for now. And because Angela's watching, which might mean that Brandon is watching, we're gonna clean our stamps right away. So they're ready for the next card. So this is the chamois, and you guys see I cracked out a brand new one a couple weeks ago. It's always hard to get ink on that first one. And I'm stamping off a couple times. That helps to get some of the ink off the stamp. All right, Brandon, are you happy? Oh, did I forget one over here? Hang on. Clean that guy. All right, put that there. Get these out of the way. I think we're gonna save the sprinkles here because we use those for another card. And now we get to start doing a little bit of assembly. So once you have your sentiment and your decoration on the inside of your card, your mat here, go ahead and put a little adhesive on the back. We had a great class last week where we talked about converting from tape runner to liquid glue. Now this is where I've got a little wiggle room. If I want to move it down, I can move it slightly down so I get it centered the way I want it. Then you can also take your white stitch circle and put adhesive on the back of that. And then that gets glued to your pool party circle. And now the trick with this card is you do not want to put any adhesive right here, because if you do, you call that a trick card. Okay, but first, oh, you guys, we gotta do this. So as you guys could be working on cutting out your popsicles, I've already got mine ready to go. But next we've got to put our adhesive. Now this is where you have to make your decision. Do you want polka dots or do you want the splotchy? So I'm gonna go with covering up the polka dots. Little adhesive around the edges. I try not to go too close because I don't want the glue oozing out on me. And that's gonna go lined up. I start on one end and then I try to get it in my hands, and then you can see with liquid glue, you have a little wiggle room time. But once you get it set, you gotta live with it because it's hard to rip that glue off of there, or rip the paper off. But you have about 10 seconds sometimes to wiggle that where you want it to go. Where with tape runner, once you go down with that paper on the other paper, it kind of is stuck. You have to be careful too, because sometimes I've had them move around on me after the fact. Hi, Jean Benson. That's funny. Brandon came over about 5 minutes ago. Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. And then a little bit more glue on your old olive mat. And then those will go on your front panels here. Now this is where you could take a look at this and figure out where your splotches are. I like that splotch right there, so I'm gonna flip it over and put that one at the bottom, because if I put that at the top, it'll get covered up partially by the circle. So he's going down on the bottom panel. So like this will go right there. That'll be perfect so you can see that. Let's check out this one. Okay, on this one I wanna see more of the green. So I'm gonna put the light blue to the left so that some of that gets covered up as well. Now, what I will do for putting my dimensionals on, so this is popped up with dimensionals, and I wanna make sure I don't go over the edge. So what I'll do is I'm gonna grab 3 of them and put 2 there and 1 there. And that's about how much, they're pretty close to the edge here, guys. So those 3 are what I'm gonna use to hold my circle down. There's nothing that needs to get stamped on here. What I'm doing is centering it top to bottom, and I'm trying to center it between my sentiment and the edge of the paper. So it's kind of nestled in there. Like, oop, that's too close. We're gonna go a little closer like that. Okay, so now by putting the adhesive or your dimensionals on that flap, it didn't risk going over your circle. Okay. So where are you guys at with your fussy cutting of your popsicles? How many of you use popsicles? Or how many of you use something else? That's what I'm curious. So I want to put the one that's in the middle flat, and I'm going to pop up the one that's on the left. And I do want to put a little dimensional there. So what I'm going to do is grab my glue scissors and snip off one of these end pieces to put on the stick. And then we're gonna put, oh, let's get that picked off so it's ready to go. Oh, look at you guys all did popsicles, good job. Then we're gonna glue this one. You guys, I'm getting to the end of my liquid glue. I can tell it's getting empty. How am I doing this? This is going like this, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking the opposite is what I did this time. So like that. Now, if you're a Stella fan, you definitely can Stella your popsicles. Be careful though, because Stella sometimes causes ink to bleed, and these are already kind of bleeding together, but just be careful. You can see on this one, on my sample, I missed a little bit of the area there. You can see that there's more white in the center. That's because I didn't, and that popsicle's taller than that one. That's because I stamped my second one a little bit further away, and so that's what happens is you get a little bit of white in the middle. If you don't like that, start over, flip over your paper. And voila, as Kelly would say, voila, we have our first card done. So I did not, this one was hard for me. I didn't do embellishments on this card and I didn't do ribbon. I left it very more plain. So I used the stem flower from the Ornate Garden. Perfect. That's awesome. That works. And I bet you picked the polka dots then, Deanne, if you went with the stem flower from Ornate Garden. I bet that'll look really cool. I can't wait for you to share pictures. So card 1 in the books. All right, let's set you off to the side and put you over here. Next, we're gonna do our Calypso Coral. So I will tell you guys too that I cased this card. So Sandy Carlson is a fellow stamper, and she's in a bunch of swap groups with me. And what I did is I changed up. So when you look at these cards, you're gonna think that they look very similar, and they do. And I showed her my card as soon as I was done. I said, I loved your idea, and I cased it. Casing is copying and sharing everything. But for my card, I really wanted to do the ice creams, the scoops and the cone instead of the birthday cake. And I didn't put the yellow layer, and I did a trick with my white. So before you guys start getting glue happy, I tell you, I did cut my white in half to split it. Added a sentiment, did my bow a little different, did 3 panels, and I did not emboss the back here. So plenty of different subtle changes to make the card a little bit different, but definitely want to give credit to Sandy because she is a phenomenal stamper, and I love casing her cards. She does an awesome job. So let's set that here. So the coral, yeah, corals, I would say it's not one of my favorite colors, but it really has grown on me through the years. In the right element, I love coral, and it's with the blushing bride in here, it goes good. Hi, Jenny. So your Calypso Coral base is 5.5 by 8.5. And you guys, I've scored yours at 4 1/4, so you're ready to just fold it in half and take your bone folder and burnish the edges. Now remember, this is a horizontal card, so you want to kind of set it horizontal so that you don't forget that. In your kit, you're going to have another Whisper White, or I should say basic white mat. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and what we'll do is we're going to stamp a cone in the on that one. So that is for that. Now this one, this is a piece of white. Let's see what the size is on here. It is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Now this is the piece where you're gonna get your mats on, so your DSP strips. So I wanted to show you how I did this. So when I was prepping your kits for class, I didn't just cut pieces up and down. I first cut everybody's as, this is 4.5 by 3 3/8, and each strip is 1.5. So I tried to keep it simple with 1.5 and 1.5 and 1.5 makes 4.5. So let's grab our cutter again, so I can show you what I did. I got everybody's then down to 1.5. So when you have your strips of designer paper, I do have it set up that the squiggles are going horizontal. Let's just make sure that's 1.5. Leave it to me to cut my sample wrong. So that's how I did that. And then what happens is, you guys, the back side is what goes in the middle to break it up. And I tried to give you all a middle piece that didn't have as much yellow in the middle to keep it more into the monochromatic of the pinks, like with the coral and the blushing bride. So now you have these 3 strips of paper, and one's gonna go, they're all 3 gonna go down. Which one do I wanna use? I think I'm gonna use that one in the middle. Now some of you have your squiggles going up and down. If that is the case, that means that your piece was meant to be with that side up. Okay, so my trick for gluing this, I tell you, I find a lot of times people want to glue these in order, and then you're left with no room on the end, and that's not good. So what I do is I start with the one on the left, and I'll adhere that. You can tell my glue is getting down to the end. And then I glue the one on the right. Okay, so we're just gonna start with that first. So we're gonna put the one on the left, And we're gonna guess like about that much room. And I'm gonna set that one there as a guide. And then this one's gonna go on the right. And got a little wiggle room with the glue. And then what happens is whatever the sides end up doing, I'm just going to center the middle one. At least then I didn't go over the edge. It may be a little bit less wide for your channel of white in the middle, but it's gonna be pretty close. So then this one, and I want the red at the top, I think. So that, I'm just gonna center that right in the middle, right there, like that. Okay, so there's our front piece for this. Oh, let's take this out of the plastic. You guys can probably hardly see that with the glare. Okay, now over to here, I wanna tell you guys this right away. This is punched out from the Label Me Lovely punch. Hi, I like to do that. So I've already punched them out for you. And that is in the annual catalog. It was a carryover item. And this one right here, that is, you guys will probably be like, whew, she uses that a lot. It is nothing other than the Tasteful Labels dies. That guy right there is what that's from. And what you're gonna wanna do is take your scissors, oh, not your ribbon scissors, glue or paper scissors are fine. You're gonna cut it right down the middle. And don't worry if you're straight or not straight. I wasn't straight. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna glue this down, and by cutting it in half, it made the circle to appear bigger so that more of the white was showing. If you would leave that as a plain circle, it would get more of it covered up, and I wanted to see more of it. So when you put this down, what you wanna make, hi Jean, what you wanna make sure you're doing is keeping about the same distance all the way around that circle like that. And then this one's gonna spread out just like that as well. And now don't worry about that seam. You can see that the cone is gonna cover that up. And we can prep this with a few dimensionals. I would say 4 of them. I would do 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. Don't pick them off yet though. There's a method to my madness. It's really hard to get this ribbon exactly where you want it nestled in the nook right here. And hi Jolene. So what we're gonna do is we put the 4 dimensionals on, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. You're gonna grab your tear-in tape and rip off a piece for each side of the back. Now you have 1 piece of ribbon in your kit. This ribbon needs to get folded in half. It is not meant to wrap it all the way around. So the tape is about 1 inch up. Oh, it's so staticky. Okay, so put your tape down to have that prepped. Now, this is where you're gonna pick off your top 2 only, not your bottom. So when I flip this over, they became the top 2. And we're gonna set this on here. Now, do I want it like that or like that? I think I'm gonna, now I got my tape on the wrong end, but no, we'll go like that. So set this down where you want it. Just like that. And we're gonna go up a hair. So I only took the dimensionals off, so this is not sticking right here. I did that on purpose. I wanna be able to put my ribbon down now. And I wanted my ribbon to be right about there, so it was nestled right in that little nook or cranny. Okay, so now you can take the backing off of the tear-in tape. What you can do, 2 things. You can either cut this in half or keep it together and just make sure you only put a little tail underneath, or the tail on the back just a little bit. And now because I don't have this glued, I can work with where I want the ribbon. I'm gonna weave it over to here, attach it, and then I'm gonna weave it, so I just folded it right in half, and now I'm gonna weave it right back underneath my label. You should have enough, about a 1/2 inch on each side extra. So that's how I attached the ribbon, so that it would be right here. So when I put my bow on, it's coming right out of the corner right there. And I doubled it up so that you have some showing on the top and a little bit showing right on the bottom. And now that you have your ribbon where you want it, you can lift this up and you can pick off your dimensionals, and now you can glue that down. Okay? That's how I secured the ribbon. The other thing that I also want to do is take a couple more pieces of tear-in tape and cover up my ends of the ribbon so they don't come loose, and I'm trying to cover up some of that glue as well because I'm going to pop this entire thing up, and if that glue would be exposed over there, it would want to stick flat right there, and I don't want it to stick flat right there. So we're going to put, I'm going for 9, I think. That should be enough, but for good measure, we're going to put 2 more right there. Okay, so that's pretty much ready to go onto our card front. So let's pick these off, and what we have to do next then is we're going to do a little bit of stamping. We've got this card pretty well prepped now up until the stamping. So then this goes right on the front, and you can center. Now this is difficult though. Once you start getting this stuck, it's going to be hard to lift up. So the goal with dimensionals is get it kind of sitting where you want it, and don't press down until you have it where you want it, because then you can pull it back up. But once you get it exactly where you want it, squish it. Okay, just like that. So we got a good start to our base, and now we've got to do some stamping. We have to stamp our sentiment, which is happy birthday. Now, in class, a couple people did itty bitty, or hello, but it's from Itty Bitty Greetings. This is a good one for the collection. Teeny Tiny Wishes is the previous version, and Itty Bitty Greetings is the one that came out after, but so many great little sentiments that you can add to it. So I used that one, and in there is one that says happy birthday, and Calypso Coral is going to be our color. And remember, away from us, Bobby wants the ice cream stamps now. I love it. I always say, well, now my work here is done. Bobby, you can add them to your birthday order. Okay, so this one is a red rubber stamp, so I'm not going to use the piercing mat underneath. You guys, I gave everybody 2 of these punch outs. So this is the classic label punch, and I think I punched out 2 for everybody so that in case you didn't get it good the first time, then you actually get 4 shots at it because there's 2 sides to each one of them. I'm punching this out. I should have stamped it a little closer to the end, but if you see what I'm doing here, I'm punching it out a little bit closer so that there's less white over there, because I'm going to tuck part of that underneath the cone. All right, so there's our sentiment, garbage, and that's the classic label punch. That with Itty Bitty Greetings will allow you to add any sentiment to the front of the card, which is super cool. All right, so that's ready, and now we got to stamp some cones. Okay, you guys, I don't think I put a white piece in here for me. So I gotta show you. I think I gave everybody a piece of white paper that was maybe 3.5 inches. Hang on. Un momento. Okay, I think give you guys this much. I might have given you about that much white paper to stamp your 2 scoops and your cone and your sentiment. So let me show you the best way to do this. So when you have your punch, there's a method to my madness with this, guys. Your punch has a scoop and the cone, and they're angled like this. So you want to really work with it like that. So knowing that your punch is going to punch a scoop there, you want to stamp it there and one there. And what I do then is I pull back the cone on that side. So the scoop is at 2nd strength. So what that is, so here's the scoop. And remember, when you look at your punch, the stamp goes that way. So what I'm going to do is stamp off, and I'm going to stamp a scoop towards the end here. And then I'm going to stamp off again and stamp another scoop like that. We're going to leave that because we need it. And then our sprinkles. So there's sprinkles, and I left them at 1st strength. I did them near the top of one, and I did them near the bottom of the other one so that you'll see them come out the bottom. All right. The other thing that, well, let's see what I did here. We'll keep going with this so I don't mess anybody up. Crumb cake is right here. And our cone bottom is also, so let's look at how it's gonna punch like that. So we wanna fit that guy down there, and he also is at second strength. So we're gonna go like that. Now, this is super cool. There's these, I call them a little crosshatch. That's part of the stamp set, and they are at first strength, and they don't fit to the edge of the cone completely, but they fit in the cone like that. Okay, so how we're gonna do the punching then is we're gonna punch this one first, and we don't risk messing up those, so that one's first, and then we're gonna move the paper over a hair, and then that one's next, and then I'm gonna swing back to this side and punch him out. Now, you could have started with the cone. No, you really couldn't, because then there's the scoop over there. There's a method to why I did it like that. And then you guys, you had enough space on the top of your paper, because I think I gave you about that much. You'd have oh, actually I cut out all your little banners for you, so you should have plenty of room based off of all that. So that's the punch in action. Now, these are gonna set off to the side. I wanna show you how I'm gonna do the inside. So I have in the inside of mine, I left the inks open and I didn't clean them yet because there's a scoop in here. So we're gonna start with the top of the scoop, and it's in second strength again. We're gonna stamp over there. I'm gonna show you guys a masking trick with this cone. So we're starting with first strength, do your sprinkles. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but get yourself a little Post-it note and stamp your cone right on the Post-it note. And I should have stamped it down a little bit lower so that it would have worked a little bit better. So hang on, guys. You follow me on this one. So I'm gonna stamp my cone a little closer to where it's sticky on the Post-it note. There, perfect. And what the trick is we're masking, because we wanna get the cone right up into the ice cream part. So you're gonna trim the bottom of this. But now, so I heard you say because it is red ink, I did not use the pad, but now, not why you didn't use it, but not why you didn't use it. Red ink, I don't know. Ellen, I'm not sure what I said red ink for. Was I referring to the coral ink? I'm not quite sure. So with this, I've just created myself a mask, and it's sticky on the bottom here. And I'm gonna stick that right to where my cone is stamped, or my scoop is stamped, and grab the cone bottom stamp. You're gonna ink it up. Now watch this. Stamp off, and now you can go over the top of your ice cream. And don't worry, because now what happens is you peel that off, and now you've nestled the cone right up into the ice cream, and it looks like it's overflowing over the top. The other thing though you can do is just leave that on here. We need to, oh, red rubber stamp. Oh, okay, the stamps have their own, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, I'll tell you, thanks you guys, you helped me jog my memory on that. I'm already on to cone making right now. So, perfect, here we go. So, this stamp right here is a red rubber stamp, and it has its own foam on it. Right in here, there's foam. And when you look at photopolymer stamps, they don't have foam. So because of this being red rubber, if I would go to stamp that on here, I would potentially, depending on how much ink I have on here, it might provide too much cushion and I get a halo like that. So that is definitely, you girls are good. So I didn't use this red, it's a red rubber stamp. I didn't use my piercing mat then. I just went straight onto my rough surface here, or my hard surface. So did you guys like this? So that's my little trick with mats and masking, so that you can get your cone all the way up to the scoop without going over your scoop. So, all right, now I think that we're done with the crumb cake. Who knew, right? Yeah, right, Ellen? I love it. That's what we love is learning. So, all right, Kay, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining. Okay, I got red ink on there. So, all right. Let's see here. So we're gonna do a little, I think we got our stamping done for now. Oh, there's that guy. I would have found him later. All right, so let's close up our ink before we get our fingers in it. And inside, so we're gonna put a little adhesive back here and get rid of this part on the inside. And make sure you keep your card facing the right way. There we go. That goes right in there. Now, we got a little bit of cone and we got a little bit of bow to do. Okay, so what I did is, yes, magic, right, Kathy? We're gonna put a little bit of glue right at the top of the cone, and make sure you grab the one if you put sprinkles near the bottom. That will go first. And then we're gonna put a little bit of glue on this one. And we're gonna put that guy, so he's hanging out right over the top of our bottom scoop. And now, all the rage, huh? Right, Chris? Yes, I love me my liquid glue, guys. If you watch me enough, you will see I've been using the same bottle of liquid glue here for all the cards we've made for the lives since the beginning of the new year, I think. I don't think I've really replaced that. Liquid glue lasts a long time for me. And when you think you're done and it's all gone, 20 more cards. You can get 20 more cards out. Let's look at this over here. So you guys, there's a little bit of this right here needing to all go together. It needs to all happen at the same time. So let's get a little baby dimensional on our happy birthday. That's gonna go right on the end here. And this, I'm just kind of eyeballing where this is all gonna go, guys. So I'm gonna think that's gonna go here. And I wanted the happy birthday to be just slightly above or below, oh, right there. It's gonna be right below the ribbon, and luckily it's going to fit right. Did you see that? It's going right there. And now I'm just gonna follow up with a little bit of liquid glue right there so it's flat, because we already have the dimensional. Now this will go right about there. It covers up our seam. The happy birthday is following the line of ribbon, and you still get to see it up here. Now, lastly is a little bit of a bow. Well, not last, we gotta do rhinestones yet. And the ribbon I pulled in on this one is the white crinkle ribbon. It was part of the poppy set. You guys are making me blush. You're saying that I'm a good teacher and I'm the best. I love it. You guys are awesome too. All right, so I have these two random pieces of crinkle ribbon, and instead of wasting them, oh, one's too short, I think. We're gonna see once what happens. I did a double bow over here, so all you guys have your double bows made. Oh, this is gonna work. So normally when I do a double bow, I take one piece and I wrap it around twice. Oh, it actually might work, but it might not be enough. Nope, it won't be quite enough. I take and wrap it around. This time, what's gonna happen is here's a bow trick. If you wanna have two ends coming on each side, coming down on each side, now you take two pieces of ribbon and tie them together. You'll get your double bow on the top, and I don't know if this is gonna look good. We're gonna just see what happens just to play around. They might stay together or they might go off to the ends. Weird. So let's see what happens. Because in essence, here I've got two tails, and here I have four tails, and it might be too much. Oh, they'll sit together actually. It'll be okay. It's all gonna work out. So grab your ribbon scissors and have it ready. We're gonna secure that with a little glue dot. So grab your mini glue dots and find your next one. And that's gonna go right in the little nook, I call that. And now grab your ribbon scissors and trim your tails however you want to see them. Some people like longer and some people like shorter, but that looks good to me. And you can see here, that you do have 2 tails on each side, but they kind of lay right on top of each other, so that used up the ribbon nice. I am not a big fan of having loose particles of stuff all over the place. All right, some rhinestones. You guys got to be careful. There's 3 little rhinestones in your in your kit. Hopefully the static electricity didn't make them go all over the place. Hi, Elaine. All right, so we're gonna do, what do we want to do? 1 over here, and I'm gonna change. I'm gonna put 2 of them up at the top. Actually, you can put your rhinestones wherever you want. I put 2 of them down there on this card. I put 2 up there. It's really how you want to see them. Don't forget your Stella. Put a little bit of glitter on your ice cream cone. All right, you could also do a little bit around the edge here of your Calypso Coral mat, just to see a little Stella there. Okay. Oh, you guys. Did you just see what I did? I ran the Stella pen over my inside of this card just to clean it out. And it's a good thing it was pretty clean. All right. Are you liking it? So just think of all the different color combinations you guys could do with this. So this one really showcases the DSP as well. So you get to see, if you wanted, you could have left them all the same, depending on which paper I gave you. Some of you got squiggles that were going up and down, and that was meant to be this one. So I didn't really give you a choice to do them all the same. So just go with it. But just know your designer paper, if you really wanted to showcase off a certain pattern that you like, to do a panel card like that. Sandy, you need a bow maker. I have 4 left right now. So I have 4. All the wood grains are always a little bit different, but I was just looking at my inventory and I only have 4 left. So if you need one of them, email me or message me. I need your address, and it costs about $4 to ship it, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, there's another one done. Yes, I will, Angela. You're so on top of that. Thank you. Okay, so there's 2. All right, we're on to purple cards. Do you guys want to do a Z fold, or do you want to do the shaker? Let's save the shaker for now. Let's do it now. Oh, you guys. So I mentioned earlier in the night that I cased cards from a previous ice cream class. So the cool treat. So you guys are going to see this and think, whew, that's really close. And it is. This was my card with Gina that we designed probably 3 years ago. At that time, look at that. I made a boo-boo and I just went with it. So we had washi tape that went with the suite, and the sprinkles were a little bit different. But this is definitely the card that I cased when I was working on this card. And hi Kathy, we are going to do this one with the purple posy and blackberry bliss. Yep, Sandy, that sounds good. Email me first thing tomorrow. So let's grab our kit and see what's all in here. You guys, there's lots of little bits and parts in this one. So this is the one where you're gonna have a little baggie of sprinkles, which came from the sprinkle kit here. So your base is purple posy. Let's look at where it is here. I think it is this one. No, it's this one right here. So we have 8.5. So it's 8.5 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5.5. So it makes it a traditional A2 size of a card. And you have 2 mats here. One is Blackberry Bliss, and it's your regular 4 by 5 1/4, and then you have your white, which is the 5 1/16 by 3 13/16, and that's what's going to go in here. You also have a piece of Blackberry Bliss that's going to go here, which is 4 by 2 3/4, and then your designer paper is 3 13/16 by 2 9/16. So all of your lines should be in a straight line. Also in your kit, you're going to have one, I don't know why I have 2, but you're going to have one of these white ovals. We talked earlier in the night about the layering ovals. So the layering ovals is what was used to cut this piece. And then your Blackberry Bliss outline, I used an inner oval along with, in here there's the back right there, there's the stitched oval. So those got cut at the exact same time. So I nestled the outer one with the inner one to make this outer frame for you. And then, very hard to see, you guys probably can't even see it laying there, but you have a window sheet. I don't know if you guys, yeah, there you can see it now. This is, they sell these as 12 by 12 in the catalog. 2 sheets, 12 by 12. And that got cut out of the same oval as this one right here. Okay, so that. And then you have 2 strips, little baby strips of designer paper that are 3 13/16 by something small. A quarter, I don't know, around a quarter. You can see that this one's a hair shorter than that. Everybody's are gonna be slightly different. It's really hard to cut paper that thin. So I'll be honest with you, some of them are gonna vary, but those are gonna go on the end here. And then your scoops. This is where I was talking about earlier. Your designer paper is, your scoops are gonna depend on where I got them from. And some of you, I ate some of your ice cream already. Sorry, but that happens because, and mine's not a really good color. Well, I'm not gonna use that coral one. I'm gonna cut off maybe this one. So the reason that that happened is because you can see this one right here. I don't want to not use that. So when I cut some of yours, it depended on how I cut them. So like here, if I used that one, I had to cut off a little piece and then you got the bottom half, but you didn't get the top off. I didn't really bite out of them. I think you guys know that. I did, so I'm gonna use that one actually to go with this one instead of using the coral. I tried to avoid using coral for you guys because I didn't know if I thought it might clash a little bit unless you have some splotchy right through it. But that's how I had to do that. I had to cut everybody. So everybody's scoops are gonna look slightly different. And some of you might have notches out of them. Those are meant to go on the bottom. And then you also have your cone here, the bottom for the cone. So there's not a lot of stamping on this, guys. I really left this card. That's the only thing that gets stamped. So let's go ahead and take care of that first. So in the stamp set, it says happy birthday. And the color I used is Blackberry Bliss. And remember how we're opening them like that and swinging back? That should help you guys so that you don't get ink all over your fingers. So here's the trick with this. You don't want to stamp your happy birthday so far over to the right that it pokes out of the side here. So what I would recommend doing is grabbing your mats like this and kind of laying them where they need to be. And then also the thing that you want to take into consideration is the strips are going to be over on the side here. So you're going to be off to the left more. So ink up your stamp good. And this is photopolymer, so that's why we're going to pull out the piercing mat. And we're going to stamp more to the left than to the right. Right about there. And let your ink soak into the paper for a second. And it should give you a nice crisp image. That's it for stamping. So if you want to test it to make sure you did it right without going over, you can grab this white piece and that's gonna go right about there. And I did good because I don't have it hanging out the edge like that. All right, that was it for stamping. So if you don't have the happy birthday from this set, you guys could use anything that you wanted. I'm gonna grab my ribbon, so I have it here. You guys should also, in this kit, you should have your bow already made. So I made that for you. So we're gonna do a little gluing here. Actually, we're not gonna do a little gluing, we're gonna do a lot of gluing. So we're gonna start with the strip. So you guys, they're gonna be thin, so you do wanna be very, very light with the liquid glue if you're a liquid glue person. Really thin like that. And if you are a tape runner, your tape runner might be a little bit too long, or too wide, I should say, for it. If your strip is just a hair shorter, like mine is here, I'm gonna just trim that right off of the bottom when I'm done here. But I'm gonna get the top flush and then put a little glue on this one. Guys, I'm getting to the bottom. But 20 more cards, I'm sure I can get 20 more. Okay, then grab that. You're gonna line that up right next to it. Now, I went with the purple close to the edge versus the sprinkly one, so that it would really blend in nicely with the purple next to it. Now, if you want to switch them around, you can. But what I'm going to do on this is I'm just going to weave my scissors right down so it trims off a little bit of that white that was showing. And you won't notice that at all. Then flip that over. Now that can get put onto the purple, the Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to prep this with a little glue so we're ready for it. Don't worry, I promise I won't get them all smushed into each other. that goes right there. And then this one can go on this one. The sprinkles are awesome. So you can see here, guys, I've done 3 cards and I've used so many different sides of the papers. Flip those both over. So give me a thumbs up if you have done a shaker card before. I'm curious if a lot of people have done shaker cards or not. Because in class on the Wednesday night, 3 people hadn't done shaker cards. And then when I had my Saturday class, 2 people hadn't done shaker cards. So I'm really curious if there are a bunch of you that haven't done shaker cards and this is your first time seeing how to do a shaker card. And then this just goes on the inside here. Oh, we got some thumbs ups. Okay, so we're gonna do the shaker part next. We're just getting everything prepped on here. Okay, so this is what we got left. We got our ice cream cone to put together and we've got the shaker part to put together. What I would recommend first, now this was a challenge for people, which glue to use when it comes to put this on here. So what we have is the window sheet that's already cut out and we have a frame. The frame is what's gonna hide our dimensional strip that we use. So I put on, for my in-person people, I had recommended everybody bring their foam adhesive strips so that you can use them. Oh, Deb used to make them all the time. So good. So I hadn't made one in a long time. So, all right, I'm a liquid glue girl, guys. So I am definitely going to use liquid glue for this. If you have a thin, like 1/8 inch tear and tape, like I know that they make a sticky tape that's 1/8, and you want to weave that all the way around, that works too. But I want to do this so that it gives it time to dry. Now, you also want to be careful. I have not, so glad you are showing the shaker card. Yay, Tammy. Okay, so you want to be careful not to get glue all over your window sheet. So I'm going to try to put this down as straight as possible and try not to wiggle it all over the place. But I definitely want to squish this a little. You can see where I put the glue. Let me lift that up. You can see where I put the glue. It is very important that you put the window sheet to this frame. When I was making my sample, I forgot to put the window sheet. And I was like, oh, crud, that's not gonna work. My sprinkles are gonna go all over the place. Oh, Carmen, you did one with snowflakes for the holidays. I bet that was really pretty. Okay, so you guys, that's wet and it will slip all over the place. So we're gonna set that right there and hopefully it will dry a little bit more while we're working on our ice cream cone. So if you guys have the notch that I ate some of your ice cream, it tasted really good. Don't cry. You're gonna cover it up. It'll be okay. So what I do is I like to start from the bottom, like a little there, and then I'm gonna put this one. Which one do I wanna put on the top? So that's the hard decision. If you guys have 2 full scoops, you're gonna have to decide what you wanna put on the top. And I think I want the dark one to be on the top. So if you have a bite out of yours, then that one definitely needs to go on the bottom. And if you want, you can always get some more of the paper and the punch and make more of these. This is awesome. Punching out these different colors was so much fun. So there's my ice cream cone. And then that is gonna get glued flat. I don't wanna pop this up. You guys, I love popping, but I highly recommend not popping this because your sprinkles will get caught behind it. So then this is gonna get centered top to bottom. Make sure it's you guys, if you guys like your things crooked or off sideways, always put your stuff how you like them. I think that you have learned, if you've been watching me for a while, I like things up, down, left, right. That's just my personal preference. I like things like that. But other people I stamp with like things a little bit, like I remember when Chris Hayes made some ice cream cones with me, she actually put her scoop on the side next to it like it fell off of the ice cream cone. It was really funny. All right, so get that as flat as it can. Then you've got sprinkles in your little baggie that I provided. This is where the take your pick tool comes in handy. A tweezers, guys, if you have a tweezers comes in handy. But what I did is I put a few of the sprinkles glued to the card. So if you guys watched the sale-a-bration card class that I did earlier this year, it was in early January. I did a card with the sprinkles too, and we glued them right on. So, I got two of them, hang on. So with the take your pick tool, I always grab it with the putty end, and then I do take my finger and I hold it down so that it doesn't come right back up with the tool, because otherwise it would just come right back up with it. All right, so we're gonna find some purples and some blues. The reds, we're just gonna put a bunch of colors on here. And then we're gonna give this a second to dry while we go back to work on that one. Okay, another, oh, I just did purple. Let's do the red one over here. And you guys have enough sprinkles. I think that you could put more on or you could put less on. It's whatever you wanna see. Oh, we don't want the red one. I want that blue one. Okay, so we definitely do wanna give this a little time for that to dry. And I like to cover up my sprinkles when I'm not using them, or it may risk them going everywhere. And to buy that a little more time, I'm going to show you how to make the bow. So I've got a little bow on the side here. I have a piece cut that I will think will be perfect. So I just crossed left and right. My left side goes up and over, making sure that's as smooth as possible, and then it comes underneath. And now you've got both tails on the back side, and you're going to cross them again, bring the bottom up, and then the main thing is that you tighten your tails. I am a perfectionist, Sandy, can you tell? Ooh, it can be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. It's so funny. When I was back in college and I was interviewing for jobs, they always, one of the things that they asked were, what are 3 of your strengths, right? And then what are 3 of your weaknesses? And I always put that one of my weaknesses is that I'm a perfectionist, but it's also a good thing to be that way because I am very detailed oriented. So being a perfectionist isn't always a bad thing. I've learned to be able to be like, oh yeah, that's okay for the most part. So, all right, you can see here that my white is disappearing. That means my glue is drying. So grab one of the foam strips. Now, if you don't have the foam strips, that's okay. You'll figure something out, but they sell these through Stampin' Up! With the adhesives. And I have my book open here so you guys can see these in case you're wondering. On page 162, they have all the different adhesives shown at the top, and these are the foam adhesive strips. $8 for 2 sheets. You get 10 yards total, so they come in strips like that. And you only need 1 of them for this card, actually, and you have extra. It doesn't matter where you start, just start anywhere. And what you're gonna do is circle, or I should say oval, oval around the window sheet, and you wanna stay, hi Wendy, you wanna stay right in line with the Blackberry Bliss frame. And you wanna stay in the middle if possible. And when you get to the end, I like to go slightly over so that I can see how much I need. I don't want to cut it too short because I don't want the sprinkles to come out. So what I'm going to do is cut it slightly past it. And then if I can, I'm just going to try to bring it back and wedge it right in there so that I don't risk it being too short. Because if you cut it too short, then you got to cut yourself a teeny tiny little piece to stick right in there. And I'd rather be over a hair and squish it in there than be short. So you can see that that paper is trying to come off already, so you can definitely take that off now. And this is pretty much ready to go for once our sprinkles. So it was a frame and then gluing the window sheet. And now I like to put the tape, the foam strip on the back of the frame. In class, I saw a couple people put the foam adhesive around the edge here. It's really a horse apiece. Either way, it's got to go on the top or on the bottom, and then they need to meet in the middle. Yes, that works too. Perfect, Sandy. Sandy's saying that she took her dimensionals here or on the side. You can cut yourself a thin little strip and put that on the edge too. That works perfectly fine. So now what you're gonna do, this is where you gotta be a little careful, but you guys can take the sprinkles and put them right in the middle. I would not have them on the sides like that. That's not gonna work. They need to be in the middle. Oh, and there another one is right there. And you don't want them piled up like that. You want them a little bit flat, otherwise the window sheet's gonna hit them and not stick so good. So in the middle and more flat. And this is where you gotta just take your time and go slow. Don't rush it, and don't be scared of it either. But the main goal is to get this on top of that, lined, lined as best you can. If it's off a little, it's not gonna hurt anything, but what I'm doing is I'm eyeing up the top, the bottom, the left, and the right. And I might get my head on this because I wanna check the back side there. But once I got it lined up where I want it, I'm just going to set it on top of it, and I'm gonna press around the edges, and then I'm gonna pick it up and just squish it more. Now, I think in class we had one person that it went off just kilter a little bit, and their foam dimensional strip was sticking out the side. You can just take your scissors and cut that off, and there it is. So we're not done with that though. Grab your Stella pen because this looks super cool if you Stella the edge of your frame and get it a little bit sparkly. Just like that. Okay. Stella it up. Hi, Judy. All right, so that is the shaker part of our card, and that's that. So now all we have to do is adhere that onto here, and with this one too, you want to be careful not to put any adhesive right there. And I definitely would not put more dimensionals. You've already, the foam dimensional strips are a little bit thicker than our other, so you can just slightly see that this is skinnier than that. So you're already popping up a lot. So what I would do is adhere this with a little bit of liquid glue, and I don't want to go over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line right there, and then I'm going to put a little glue over there. So that should make sure that I'm all the way to this edge and all the way to that edge. And I'm not going to drop it. And my goal was to, this middle and that middle is where the seam is here for the purple posy. Just like that. Okay. Beautiful. Then grab yourself the glue dots, and you're going to put your bow. I kind of nestled it. So this is, I had to figure out where to put a bow, and I put it there. If you guys picture your bows elsewhere, but I put it so it was flat on the side here, right there. And here's my guy over on the side, kind of nestled right in there. I had almost all these cards done, and I had forgotten about the Blackberry Bliss ribbon, and I needed to figure out where to use it. And so this is where it got used. And you got to be careful with the sheer ribbon and glue dots because sometimes you can see through them. You can see through the sheer ribbon. And so I'm going to trim that side, and then we're going to trim that side. And I didn't add any other embellishments to the card because the sprinkles added a lot of embellishments to the card. So you will notice that some of your sprinkles will get wedged going up and down like that yellow one is there. And that's just going to happen. It'll come unwedged, and then it'll get wedged, and then it'll do what it wants to do. They have a mind of their own. Okay, you guys, we got the shaker card done. Woohoo! All right. That's it. Number 3. I love Purple Posy and Blackberry Bliss together. I was very happy with the colors of this card. Okay, we're on to the last one, guys. And this last one, let's see, we're done with these. We're just gonna set them here, but we did use the sprinkles somewhere, maybe. Let's see if these are dirty. I can't remember, but it's always a good idea. Let's clean those. The happy birthday is dirty, but we're gonna use that next, so we'll leave that. So this card right here was cased. You guys, I cased all of these cards. I gotta give credit to Bonnie Lesperance and Lisa Piper. This was my birthday card, and isn't it awesome? So Bonnie and Lisa made this card for me. It's a Z fold, so you can see it's like that. And I cased it and made it a little different. So I had to use more purple in it, guys. So, and I had to use, so when I design the cards, I try not to use, unless it's for sale-a-bration, the whole piece of designer paper, because with making 50 to 60 kits, I would need potentially 3 to 4 packs of paper of each one. And so I did mine just a little bit different. I did mine with the purple posy background, and then I used Blackberry Bliss here. And I didn't, I had used a lot of the cone paper on the other cones. So I used the stripe, I love this striped paper. And the cones here, you guys, so the cones are, where are they? The cones are actually on the back side of the cone. Okay, so the ice cream cones are on the back side of the cone paper. And you can see that there's a 3 scooper, there's a 2 scooper, there's a 1, and there's all different colors. So I literally had 52 piles out, and some got 3s, some got 2s, some got, you know, so it was all a mix. So everybody's got a little bit different, okay? So you'll have to start fussy cutting, guys. So take your cones, while I'm jibber jabbering here, you can take your cones and start fussy cutting them out. So let me grab my kit. And I think I have a lot of my prep work done on this. I just have a little stamping to do. By the magic of TV, my cones are cut out already. So I have here 2 scoops and a 1 and a 1. So that's what I've got. And the piece of, let's grab this right here. So your card base is 11 by 4 1/4. It's scored right in the middle at 5 1/2. And then there's one more score line. It's at 2 3/4. And that actually just folds right back like that. Okay, so it's 2 3/4 is half of 5 1/2. So it's scored right in the middle. All right, then, so that's gonna open like that. That's one. You have another piece of purple posy. It's 3 1/4 by 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So it's scored at 3 and another 3 at 6. Okay, so you can fold, and all you guys have yours folded. I tried to make sure when they got folded that they got folded straight, but if they're not, just realign them, and then you're gonna wanna burnish your edges, because I did not burnish your edges at all. I just it kinda got stuck in your kits. So that's what you can do for prepping that. And your Blackberry Bliss is 4 by 5 1/4, so it's your traditional mat. And all of yours are embossed with the painted textile or painted texture 3D embossing folder. This is actually part of the art floral or fine art floral or art gallery suite of products that we're using later. April 1st, actually, we got the live of that one. And I have a gal who's helping me do some embossing, and so she's got my original one with her. So this is an extra one I have, so you guys can see what it looks like. It's so cool. And so that, you can take that, let's get rid of that piece right away. We can go ahead and glue that to the inside of the purple posy. Look at you guys. There. And that goes right in the center of the base, like that. And then the top piece here, that is purple posy, oh, I'm sorry, Blackberry Bliss, and it's 4 by 2 1/2. And then the designer paper is 3 13/16 by 7 5/16. So they fit really nicely here. So we're just gonna glue all that together. So there's the popsicles. So you can, if you guys are at a loss for what color to make your popsicles, look at some of the designer paper. They used purple posy with the Blackberry Bliss. That's super pretty. So I had already designed these two purple cards, and I thought I can't make 2 more purple cards for you guys because you would be purpled out. I wouldn't be, but you might be. So that's why we went with coral and green for the other ones. All right. So there's a little more liquid glue, and our stripes go right at the top here. You guys, this one's a really fun layout. Just think of all the different color combinations and different patterns of paper you could use. So then we could go right to this piece right here, actually. So the trick for this is so set this how it's gonna go, something like that. And what I did is I prepped it with a little glue along, just like on the other one. A little glue along the bottom line, and then a little glue there. You could even come down just a little like that. But you don't want to try to have to guess where it's going to meet right there. So now that you have the glue along that edge, and you have glue at that edge, that should be sufficient. And now it's just a matter of eyeballing it so that it's exactly where you want it. So centered left to right, and if I want, I could bring it down a hair so I see more of my striping at the top. And that looks good. Okay, so now our top piece is glued, but we're loose on the back side. So now just flip the card open, and now you can put the glue along. You guys, this is what happens when you get down to the end of your glue. You go get another one, right? So then this, as long as you just lay this flat, it should go exactly where you lined it up with the top part. And that's what it's all about with a Z-fold card, guys. It's not rocket science is what the saying is. So that's how that gets glued together. And now we can go ahead and put this panel in here. So that's, you guys, the stripes is the back side of the purple splotchy that we used for the ice cream. Okay, you have to be careful. If you, I don't always hit the tip of the glue on what I'm going to glue, but I do if I don't have a piece of paper near me, because sometimes it puts a divot in it. So, and I don't want to have a divot all the time. But I was doing it on a hard surface so that it didn't make a divot. So you have to be careful where you do that, because you don't want to put little divots in your paper. All right. So that leaves these two pieces of papers. They are not squares. They are 2 3/4 by 3. So in class, I think Bonnie was the one that stamped hers going this way, and so she ended up making her card go this way, which was perfectly fine. But just know that they are rectangles, and so you want to get them lined up so we do our stamping like that. So I'm going to set this off to the side and grab a piercing mat, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment. So we've got happy birthday there, and then treat yourself on the outside. So we've got blackberry bliss here. So we can, oh, I don't know, can you guys hear the helicopter that's going? I wonder if you guys can hear that. There's a helicopter, it's flying right over my house right now. So happy birthday. And it's so funny, in class, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people questioned that it fit on here, and it does, just barely. So some people went on a little angle, but you can, it fits on here, I promise. So watch this. When you stamp that, it just fits in there. Then the treat yourself is gonna go on this other one, top right corner, there. And now we have sprinkles. Sprinkles are in Pool Party and Highland Heather. So we've got Highland Heather. You guys, did you notice how I'm opening the ink pads and I'm not struggling? The more that you open and shut them, the looser they'll come, but I'm not getting ink all over my fingers. You heard it, Anna. Well, yeah, you're right next to me. You're like a hop, skip, and a jump away. They went right over your house too. Okay, so sprinklies. So we're gonna grab our back, our piece of paper for the back here. This inside, I left a little blank here so that you can write right there without having to compete with stamping. So grab your little sprinkly dinks, and it doesn't matter which is which. So I'm gonna do Pool Party in that one. And there's, you guys, is wherever I want to see them. No rhyme or reason to what I'm doing right now. Just stamping off first, getting them in second and third. Now, depending on your ink though, you might like the first strength. Look, I'm going to see how dark purple is. Purple, I'm going to do second. No, I'm actually going to do first and second with the purples. I'm skipping this little area right here. You heard them in Arizona. I love it, Jean. You heard them all the way through my technology, right? So I left this little area blank because that's where my ice cream cones are going to go. And then I'm going to do a couple purple ones here. And I might do a second and third. Boom. Okay, and I kind of filled it in, so I'm gonna do that one there. All right, that's all there is for stamping on this one. And we just need to glue these little parts in yet. So let's move that there, flip these over, and we're gonna put, you guys, I'm gonna graduate this glue to my toolbox and grab a brand new one for us for the next time so that you don't have to watch me do what I just did all night long. All right, so this one goes on the outside, right there. And this one goes on the inside, right there. Now we have to do some ice creams. You scream, we all scream for ice cream. Who remembers that jingle? All right, I am popping up the tops of them all, and I'm gluing the bottoms flat. That's just the way I pop things usually, that they're grounded at the bottom and then they're popping out at the top. So I'm gonna put the first one, oh, a little more liquid glue, hang on. I'm determined to finish these cards with this bottle of glue. There we go. Because the joke is that you can still get 20 more cards with as much glue as left in there. So this one's gonna hang out right here. This one's gonna hang out right about there. And this last little guy off to the side. Oh. There. Now, some of you who have the 3 scooper, you're gonna have yours going up a little bit higher. So it's gonna look slightly different, only because you've got that much cone going on. And then the pearls, you guys, the pastel pearls. On Bonnie and Lisa's card, they put the pastel pearls, and that was perfect for this card. These are actually part of the hydrangea suite. So I've used them on the hydrangea cards a lot, but they are gorgeous and match very nicely with the ice cream cone set here. So we're gonna do a light purple. Oh man, it flew on me. And then a dark purple and a dark purple. So you guys got a mixture. Some of you may have gotten too dark and a light purple, and some of you may have gotten the opposite. So, hi Sue. So that's a Z-fold card. It's not crazy, actually. Somebody called it, Wendy Ellison was in class the other day, and she called it origami. It was like putting origami together. I was like, oh, this is a lot easier than origami, if you ask me. So I tried to coordinate your scoops too, that you didn't have lots of the same color. So in some cases you may have 2 scoops that are the same color, but I tried to make sure that everything else, it was just a little difficult with trying to like coordinate everybody's scoops, but I think I did okay. So there we go. Let's pull all 4 of the cards back so that you can see them, the ones that we made tonight. See how they went together. So I like to do this shot in case I have Facebook that pauses for a minute and captures this, then I can use it as the thumbnail for the video. So did you have a favorite? Which one did you like the best? You know, and that's always a trick question, because you may like the looks of one, but then you might like how one got put together. Thanks for sharing, Sue. I really appreciate it. So I am drawn to my purple cards over here. So, and I love that we've got 2 different fun folds, and we've got a sprinkle card with a shaker, and then that one. I loved showing you how my trick was with the ribbon to get that exactly where it was. So Sandy says they're all amazing. Yay! So Carmen, yay, she likes them too. Okay, I have one more thing I want to show you guys. So I showed you here these cards from my class with Gina that we did about 3 years ago. Oh, that's the slip. I was looking for that. Okay, we did these 2 cards, which I showed you already, and we did 2 more. And I have one here to show you, because if you guys saw my Fun Folds class that I did a few weeks ago, oh, Jean likes the 2 purples. I love it. Yep, and Jean likes the shaker. And Jean likes the Z-fold. All 3 Jeans replied at the same time. I love it. Okay, so I did a Fun Folds with the Sand and Sea card with the seashells on the side, and it was that easel card. And this was the card Gina and I made that went along. So this was the whole class. There might have been one more card, but this one is the card I cased for the fun folds. And I had it because I was scoping out the ice cream cards for this class, and they all got designed around the same time. You guys remember this Peekaboo Peach color? That was the ruffled raffia ribbon, or it was a crinkly ribbon. It was really cool. Not crinkle like the white one, but ruched ribbon. I think that was called ruched ribbon in Peekaboo Peach. So yeah, and then they had doilies back then, and then there was the large polka dots. You can see that they had, there it is. You can see that there's large polka dots on there. So yeah, these were some of the dies that went with that, I think it was called Cool Treats. And I will tell you guys, I think I have a couple of those Cool Treats bundles in my arsenal that I'm waiting for the perfect occasion or person to sell them if anybody's still looking for them. So I do have a couple of them. So, all right, guys, we did it. What time? Oh, look at that. It's 8 o'clock on the dot. So we are going to announce some winners of cards and prizes, and we're going to do the top fan drawing. But so Stacy Burns, she won the February monthly creative challenge. You guys got really good at figuring out where to put the cards. I think I did a little show and tell on my phone not too long ago and showed you where it was in the announcement. So Stacy, she had posted a couple cards that she made with that cross hatch or that zigzag of the patterns of designer paper. Super cool. She had done a couple of those, and so she was the winner of the monthly creative challenge. Rachel, that last fold, I call that an easel fold, but somebody just reached out to me today, and long story short, but somebody must have been watching my Fun Folds class and made a card and sent it to Rachel Tessman. And Rachel Tessman showed her card and gave me credit because the other person had given her credit. And it was that card. And I called it the easel card because it flips up, kind of like, props up like an easel, but somebody called it a corner something fold card. And I honestly, I don't know what's the right name for it. So, yeah, random thing today, or it was yesterday. So Stacy, you won the monthly creative challenge for February. And Anne Ballinger, you won the February class card challenge. And it was off of the chicken card that you made out of the Ride the Range, the rodeo card. It was so awesome the way that you altered that and made that your own. We loved that. So I'll flip down here. You guys can see I picked a stash for my prize, the designer elements. There's copper, silver, and gold, and there's sticky adhesive on the back. So I will be mailing these prizes out to you guys soon. Okay, then we're going to do the top fans. You guys, 69 top fans. I love it. Okay, so let me pull my phone down here, and we'll go to random. Oh, look at that. It stays up in the bottom. Okay, cool. Just the picture spinning around. Random number generator. So I haven't picked out the prizes for this yet, so they will be surprises. Don't you guys love surprises? So we have 69 people that were considered top fans at midnight on the 28th. So we put in 69 here, and we're gonna hit generate. And we hit generate, it's gonna tell us a number. 23, Kathy King! Oh my goodness, Kathy, it's your lucky day. So I will find a prize for you, and probably send that out with your next set of card kits because you got the March cards. I'll send them out with that, okay? Congratulations, Kathy. Okay, next winner, 53, Brenda Little. Oh my gosh, Brenda. I tell you, you just won 2 weeks ago for the mystery card class night. You submitted some samples for that, and you won prize for that, and I just mailed them out 3 days ago. So I will be popping something in the mail for you. Congratulations. And number 57 is Linda Bendick. Woohoo, you're watching tonight, Linda. You are the lucky winner of a prize as well. It's gonna be a surprise prize. So we had 70. That's a lot, guys. And I say this every time we do the top fan drawing, but I remember the first month in March when I started going live, I think I had 3 top fans, and then it became 10, and then it was 20, and then it was 30, and now it's 69. And I think last month was 65. So how do you become a top fan? People ask that. By liking, commenting, and sharing. So the more you comment, the more you like, and the more you share on my page, it makes you what Facebook calls a top fan. And it's fun to be a top fan because I give prizes for top fan every month. And I base it off of about how many people. So for about every 25 people, it seems I give about 3 prizes. So it's fun. You guys, who doesn't love winning prizes? I should say, who loves winning prizes? I think we all do. So congratulations to you 3 lucky ladies. Okay, so there's that. Remember too, if you guys are ready to place an order, you can always follow up after you place the order. Make sure to use the host code. I'm looking at you in the eye. Make sure to use the host code so I don't call, otherwise I call Stampin' Up! The next day and I have them add the host code. And it's always easier if you add the host code. But place an order, use the host code, and then tell me what class you want as long as you hit the minimum. That's all that I need. So let's flip this down and we're gonna do winner chicken dinner. So the first class we did Thursday. And the second one we did Friday. So this was the paper. Thanks for sharing, Deborah. So this was the paper pumpkin last week. So you guys got to help me do the drum roll. I wish that there was a an emoji or something down here like that. That could be the thumb drum roll. All right. Winner chicken dinner. Chris Dudarenki, you are the winner of this beautiful paper pumpkin card. I'll always be there for you, which is true. All right, drum roll. And the winner of the Thinking of You card is April Drain. You are the lucky winner. April, I think you're watching too. Linda, I'm glad you like the videos. All right, next card is the winner is, okay, Debbie Zuchowski or Zukowski. I guess it depends on if it's ch or k. Zukowski or Zuchowski. So you are the lucky winner of the paper pumpkin. So sorry for your loss. I need drumsticks. Yes, Sandy. All right. So, oh, there's Cindy Hutchings. Nice. Cindy, you did the class. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, guys. This is the sale-a-bration Hoorah class from Friday night. Oh, do you remember Friday night? My mom made a cameo appearance and told me that, well, we were going to go for a fish fry at the American Legion. And she came in here and she wasn't meaning to be heard, but I thought it was Tyler. And when I started calling for dear or Tyler, she felt bad. So she came in and said hi. And then she told me that the fish was all gone. So in case you guys are wondering, we found fish at the Knights of Columbus Hall, but we closed it down. We walked out at 8:30 and we were the last people to leave. So we got our fish and it was really good though. But we worked feverishly hard to get these 4 cards done by 6:30. And we did it. I think we finished right at 6:30. So the donkey card goes to Marcia Lynn. Marcia Lynn. So I don't know, I think that's a first name and a middle name, and I don't know your last name, but your name was drawn for the donkey card. Congratulations. So no fish tonight. No, no fish tonight. Oh, that was good. You guys helped me out last week. It was awesome. Okay, so the butterfly card goes to Carol Carbino. Carol, and then it's C-A-R-B-I-N-O. Your name was drawn. Carol Carbino. So you're the lucky winner of the butterfly card that we made last week. And our Just Jade with blueberries, they go to Sarah Verhaji. Sarah, you're the lucky winner. So I have your address. I think there's not many people here that I have addresses for, but I have yours. So you were the lucky winner. And the last card, last but not least, is sorry for your loss. You guys, this paper is beautiful. If you got this during sale-a-bration, make sure to use some of it. Janice Mink or Mink. Janice, M-I-E-N-K-A. So don't worry if you are a winner and don't catch this in the live. I always follow up with a post at 7 a.m. I schedule it for 7 a.m. on Friday mornings, and it says the winners are. So that's the post you want to look for, and that's where I announced all the winners. And I did say earlier in the evening that Jean Terwilliger, I think I said that right, Jean, she won the newsletter drawing. So all of that will be announced tomorrow morning in the post. Congratulating everybody. All right, did I forget anything? Top fan, 3 cards. We announced all the winners. I'm looking at my notes, which are right there. You guys saw my eyes go down. I think we did good. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And it's not sale-a-bration anymore, so the board is gone, sad to say. We ended up with 9 winners for the sale-a-bration boards. We didn't quite fill up the last number 9 board. We had 7 names on it, but we still did a drawing. So 9 people, and I think a lot of you guys need to cash your certificates in. So a bunch of you have, but I think over half need to cash in yet. So I said it correctly. Nice. Awesome, Jean. I love when I say things correctly because sometimes it always doesn't come out correctly like that. So, all right. Well, if you guys ever have questions or you need anything, you can reach me via email. You can call me. You can text me. You can message me through the Facebook page. I try to respond as quickly as possible. If for some reason you don't hear back from me within a couple days, I may have seen your message when I was in the middle of something and didn't get back to it. So it does not hurt for you to reach out again. Don't ever feel like you're pesting me. I always am here to help you get what you need and to make you be creative, right? So, all right. On that note, oh, it's so funny. Somebody just reached out to me too. I think it was Deanne. So the other story that you guys might have been following with me is that I had a dry February just because, not any reason in particular, but we were just trying, and we knew we could do it, but we made it in our heads that we were going to do it on January 31st. And Deanne messaged me. It was really funny. She messaged me on March 1st, you made it! And I sure did. And then Tyler came over. We had date night on Tuesday, and we enjoyed a beer together. So that was good. And I was going to say it's not Friday night, but now February is done. So we're free to do what we want. And that note, you guys, I will try to pop on between now and next week and do a short little video primarily showcasing the kangaroo cards all by themselves because I like to do that for every class, and I don't think I've done that yet. So I'll pop on sometime between now and Thursday and give you a little love. And until then, lots of sunshine and hugs and happiness and love to you guys. I'll see you next week. Yes, time to have an ice cream social. I love it, Faye. All right, love you guys. Bye.